10 subtle signs that someone is cheating. Have you ever had a gut feeling but couldn't prove it? The signs that someone is cheating aren't always obvious. Often the truth isn't found in loud spoken words. It's hidden in changing behaviors, small details, and habits that emerge quietly. In this video, we'll discuss 12 silent signs that might reveal a cheating partner and the possible reasons behind these behaviors. Remember, the presence of these signs alone isn't definitive proof of cheating. However, seeing several of them at the same time could be a cause for concern. 1. They start constantly turning their phone face down. If they used to leave their phone on the table normally but now always place it with the screen facing down, this could be a notable change. Because people don't want notifications they're trying to hide to be visible. A message appearing on the screen, a name showing up, or incoming notifications being noticed poses a risk to them. Of course, there could be different reasons for this. However, if the behavior started suddenly and has become a constant habit, the reason may not be solely a desire for privacy. 2. They start hiding their messages in social media. It's normal to set a passcode on your phone. However, if someone who used to be open and sharing suddenly starts turning their screen away from you, hiding their phone the moment a message comes in, or being overly private on their social media accounts, there's a change going on here. This is because the human mind naturally activates a protective mechanism when there's something to hide. That's why the phone screen effectively becomes a private zone. 3. They change the subject instead of giving clear answers. If they bring up different topics instead of giving a direct answer to a simple question like, "Where were you today?" Pay attention, because people who are lying often avoid giving details. Instead of giving a clear answer, they might counter the question with another question. Sometimes they might even start questioning you. The reason isn't that they don't want to tell the truth, but because it's difficult to maintain consistency in what they're saying. 4. They start making sudden password changes. If someone changes the passwords for all their accounts in a short period, it might sometimes be for security reasons. However, if they're also trying to completely block access to their phone, email, and social media accounts, this could have a different meaning. Because some people try to protect their digital footprints when a new relationship or secret communication begins. That's why they restrict access to their accounts. 5. Their patience with you wanes issues. They used to overlook now start turning into major arguments. Even a simple question can set them off. This is sometimes due to feelings of guilt. The human mind becomes tense when there's a conflict between one's actions and one's values. This tension often gets directed at those closest to them. As a result, arguments start to increase even when there seems to be no apparent reason. 6. They create distance for no reason. A person's emotional withdrawal is sometimes more evident than physical distance. They don't talk as much as they used to. They don't seem curious about you. The desire to communicate during the day diminishes because they may have redirected their attention and emotional energy elsewhere. This doesn't always mean they're cheating, but it can indicate a shift in the emotional balance of the relationship. 7. Lies and inconsistencies increase. An event they describe today might be recounted differently tomorrow. The information they provide starts to contradict itself, because remembering the truth is easy, but maintaining fabricated stories consistently is difficult. That's why small details eventually start to give them away. 8. They constantly try to make you feel guilty. This is another telling behavior. Even if you haven't done anything wrong, you might be made out to be the source of the problems, because some people shift the blame onto others to escape their own feelings of guilt. In psychology, this is called projection. Instead of facing up to their own actions, they put you in a defensive position. 9. Suddenly starts paying excessive attention to their appearance. It's perfectly normal for people to take care of themselves. However, suddenly starting to show a level of care they haven't shown in a long time can be a cause for concern. New clothes, new perfumes, new style changes, and struggling to explain the reason behind them. This can sometimes be a sign of a desire to impress someone new. 10. Unexplained gaps appear in their plans. Uncertainties begin to arise regarding where they are, who they're meeting with, or how they're spending their time. There are no explanations for certain hours. Some days aren't detailed. And when asked, vague phrases are used instead of clear answers. Because when something is being hidden, the gaps in the timeline start to grow. Conclusion: infidelity rarely stems from a single major mistake. Small changes in behavior, inconsistencies, and a tendency towards secrecy gradually paint a bigger picture over time. But the most important point to remember is this: no single sign is definitive proof on its own. Healthy relationships should be built on open communication and trust, not suspicion. So which of these 12 signs do you think is the most striking? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. If you'd like to see more content like this on human psychology and relationships, you might not see me again. So, like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Next, because when something is being hidden, the gaps in the timeline start to grow. Conclusion: infidelity rarely stems from a single major mistake. Small changes in behavior, inconsistencies, and a tendency towards secrecy gradually paint a bigger picture over time. But the most important point to remember is this: no single sign is definitive proof on its own. Healthy relationships should be built on open communication and trust, not suspicion. So which of these 12 signs do you think is the most striking? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. If you'd like to see more content like this on human psychology and relationships, you might not see me again. So, like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.